Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your good friend Brady Gregurich, back here in Antigo, Wisconsin, enjoying this lovely, nice winter that we got out here. Made the drive up from Stevens Point today. And why we're here today, we are at North Star Lanes in Antigo, and we are going to go through the process of how to drill a bowling ball with one of the best that's ever done it, my old coach, Davey Stager Jr. And before we do that, we're actually going to give you a little tour of the bowling alley, give you kind of behind the scenes of what it looks like. Behind the lanes, people are always curious about that. Give you a little background on my little trip down memory lane, so to speak. And we'll go have a couple cocktails later and get a ball drilled, but let's get out of the cold and get in there. So we are inside North Star Lanes in Antigo right now, and the reason that I'm whispering is because I tend to curse a little bit, and I want to keep this as clean as possible for the kids that'll be around because they're out of school. And as you can see, there's a lot of people in here because when it's cold and shitty out, what else is there to do but go bowling, right? But while I'm standing right here, you'll notice that there's a bunch of signs that says no wet shoes in the street bowling area, no shoes in the street bowling area, and there's a big sign that you can't have any shoes in the street bowling area. 3 times that it's said. And the reason for that is because every mouth-breathing moron that comes in here to try and bowl doesn't understand that if you get water on your bowling shoes, you stick, fall down, break your neck. That's why you need multiple signs, because people generally aren't smart enough to read, or they don't care enough to not want to break their neck or hurt themselves. So I'm going to take my shoes off before we head in there. This is what the behind the scenes of the bowling alley looks like here. As you can see, when you have those big masts up front and everything, it's masking everything that's going on behind here. There's a lot of people that work really hard to keep these machines running. I used to be able to hop up here. I'm not as limber as I used to be, but I can get up there. And you see, there's a big arm that moves pins from this giant pinwheel that spits all the pins out one at a time, and it'll hit all 10 spots. A lot of times what will happen is that something will break mechanically and all the pins will pile up, and then that's when somebody starts bitching at the front desk that they're like, I don't see any pins on our lane. Something's wrong. Yeah, something's wrong. Quit hitting the reset button. Something's up. It's not going to help. But that's where we come back here and we fix all that mechanical stuff to make sure that the lanes are going and people can finish with their bowling. So we'll take a walk down there and take a look at the rest of the lanes. If I don't break my neck. So generally we keep everything really clean. Make sure everything's good for the mechanics that are working back here, all the tools that they need to fix the pinsetters, fix the ball returns. When you're waiting for your lane to be fixed, just know that the people that are doing it are trained, and they're trying not to kill themselves, and they're trying not to get hurt back here doing it, because it is dangerous, it is loud, and I've busted more than a few fingers in these mechanics, because as a lot of you probably know, I am the least mechanically inclined person in the world, and I've suffered a few broken fingers from not doing things the right way. Also, one little neat trick, when it is quiet here, when the lanes are under maintenance, if you have everything turned off and you hit all the kill switches and everything's good, and you're laying underneath on the lane working on it, if you put your hands up like that, you can take a nap for about 15-20 minutes before somebody realizes that you haven't moved in a while. But it's a good way to refresh yourself and catch a quick little Z there, and just prop your hands up on the lanes, lay down, and they're like, oh, he's working hard. And really you're catching a quick power nap. So there's a little tip for you. Just make sure all the stuff is off so you don't get swept into the pit there. So we're gonna head into the pro shop, take a little tour of that before we meet up with Davey and get our balls drilled. So this is our lovely pro shop here at North Star. And oh, look at that. That's a fun little picture to have right here. This is a picture of the team I was on, the very first Antigo High School bowling team back in March of 2002. Based on the shiny, pasty white appearance, it's a wonder that I was a virgin until I was 20, based on that picture. But what can you do? This is the man that does the magic with the balls. This is my old coach, one of my best friends in the world, Dave Stager Jr. He's going to take care of us today and get our ball drilled up here and take you soup to nuts from start to finish. Kind of the science behind drilling a bowling ball, because it's not just plugging a hole in there and throwing a rock down at 10 milk bottles down there. There's a lot more that goes into it. There's a ton of history and expertise that goes into drilling a bowling ball. Davey is the best bowler and coach that I could have ever asked for. He's got how many 300s under his belt? Couple. Couple. Not as many as Brian Matt Miller.
But still a couple dozen.
Yeah, something like that.
Was it like 28?
No, what
24?
Not that high.
It's double digits.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's more than 0.
Humble.
That's mine. Mine's 0. Yeah. So that's okay. Why don't you show us how it's done here? Show us how the science goes.
Okay. So we're gonna experiment a little bit here with Cameron, make sure everything's good. He throws this ball very well. He tends to set it a little short once in a while. We're gonna see if we can remedy that, make some changes to it, and make this new one super comfy, so he doesn't have to use any muscles.
Yeah. So you're not, because I remember you always tell me that growing up, it's not. You want to be squeezing. You want that ball to be relaxed as you're coming back, and it kind of sets in your hand.
Were we talking about that?
No. Oh, yeah, that's what she said.
This is his current ball right here, and these yellow lines is kind of where I'm recommending we take him.
Was this used in Scarface when he cut up the cocaine? So when you're pulling the fingers out quickly like that, do you know anybody that would do that even better than you're doing it right now?
Oh, hey guys.
Yeah. Hi, Trevor.
Hi, Trevor.
Hey, this is Trevor McCarthy.
How's it going?
Good. Trevor is one of our high school bowling coaches, also one of the best bowlers in Antigo. Me and Trevor actually took 5th place in doubles bowling last year at state. Not for anything that I did, because I shot, what'd I shoot? Like 310?
No.
Something like that. And Trevor shot 770, I believe.
Yeah, that was a lot of alcohol, so.
He's done a ton of clinics. He's an awesome coach with the kids and teaches them the right way to bowl and the right way to practice and the discipline that it requires to be a good bowler and not be a half-ass shitty bowler.
So what's in the ball, Brady, is the span, okay, the length from the fingers and the thumb, the angles that those holes are drilled at, and and that teaches, like, I'm a firm believer that what's in the ball is what teaches a bowler how to throw the ball.
Okay.
This is where you develop your habits, good or bad. This is where you develop your habits. You can have success. I mean, I'm not saying that anything's right or wrong. It's just this is how you learn, and practice makes permanent. It doesn't make perfect. So whatever you're given to deal with is what you're gonna learn how to throw the strikes. So
a lot of it too, like you said, is what's in the ball.
What's in the ball?
But the bowler doesn't necessarily need to understand the science behind that, but the person that's drilling it and knowing the bowler does.
So throughout the night, within 3 games, do your fingers. Sometimes you come in and your fingers feel like a 5-gallon bucket.
Yep.
And then by the end of the night, they feel like you're stuffing them into an anthole, because your fingers change. We all drink a few beers, you swell
Humidity.
up, a little alcohol. Yeah, how cold it is outside. I mean, it's 95 below 0 outside right now. So the other thing that makes your hand change is how much you squeeze the ball.
Yeah.
So if you're squeezing the ball, again.
So if your span is messed up.
Exactly.
This can also make your hand change.
Yeah. 1, maybe. 37, a lot.
37.
These are sample size finger inserts that Davey is testing to figure out the finger inserts that Cameron needs for his new ball. All right, so Davey, what are you doing right now with this test ball with the inserts there?
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to make some suggestions and see if we can get him something a little more comfy, a little more conducive to him throwing the ball. And then we're just going to lay your fingers crossed, nice and relaxed. So we're going to just check a couple of things. I think we're real close on this, and I'm the way he came out of the ball, I won't be afraid to put this span into this ball. So this is it right here, okay? So this is Cameron's positive access point, and we're going to measure it and get the measurements. But if you were to take this line that I drew and set it perfectly, kind of eyeball it perfectly, and then just bring your fingers in to where you think, like if you were to run a stick through there to make this ball rotate around perfectly, basically this is what I look for. So it's this point on how far away from it is from this point here, which is called a pin.
And making that as close as possible to the new ball.
Pin to pad. And then
making an adjustment to get a more aggressive new ball down the lane a little bit. So I might make this further away, like up above his finger maybe. So it's going to retain some energy before it flips and then hit the pocket with the maximum amount of power according to the way he throws the ball.
Okay.
Yep. A couple points that we're looking for. Like I said, we're looking for the positive access point, the center of gravity. We're going to mark the mass bias.
That's the center of gravity?
That's center of gravity, yep.
I haven't had a new ball in like 15 years.
I know. This would be actually a very good ball for you, Brady.
Cameron, let's do some remeasurements. I'll take this thing down.
Let's
here.
do
Let's
it.
go.
I think I got your skin.
Hey, there's Brian Van Miller. Hey, what's happening? Speaking of the best bowlers in Antigo,
What's happening?
hot
Well, I only
dog.
won Youth Bowl of the year before you did in 1997. Oh, God.
What you're doing is you're comparing one ball to the next, and you have the same positive access point and the same measurements, but these balls are going to be drilled completely different.
Because of the number that I measured the 2 points. So the pin to pap number is different. Here it's 3 3/8. Here I'm going 4 1/2.
And that throws the whole thing completely different. The same person,
Same person.
different measurements, different positive access point.
What we're trying to do is we're trying to take that weight block that's inside this ball right now, laying like this. We're going to stand it up a little taller to delay the energy to get the ball down the lane to get to the pocket and retain more energy and more punch at the pins. I'm ready to put some holes in this thing. I'm pretty happy with the layout. We drew some lines on it, some pretty eyeballs, and we're going to start with the thumb. Just checking the depth, making sure I don't want to go too crazy with this. I think I do need to go just a little bit deeper.
Story of my life.
Okay, so I'm amazing because I hit the span that I wanted to hit. That was a beautiful thing.
So now that we have the ball drilled and everything's all set to go, and Davey is what? Amazing. Everything's ready to go and all set. What's our next step here?
Well, we're going to balance it on the scale. Make sure that we're legal. How do those fingers feel? They're not glued in yet, so they're probably going to come flying out. Feel snug. I've been doing an inserts for 15 years. You'd think I'd have it down pat by now, and I don't. I suck at it. Cameron, can you get your thumb in this thing?
That's what she said.
Find out. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to smooth out the top of that thumb hole and round it off a little bit.
Look at that. Beautiful piece of artwork there.
Yeah.
After all the measurements and the measuring and the cutting and the drilling, we are all set to go. And Davey, what's the next step? The best part?
Hopefully he can bowl, throw a strike. Let's go throw a strike
Let's go
with it
throw it.
and not end up out on the lane.
Let's do it.
All right, man.
So, Davey, I noticed when Cam was throwing the ball, you have 2 pieces of tape on here. I saw 2 big white spots. What is up with the 2 white spots on the ball?
So without marking up the ball, I'm kind of just guessing where his positive access point is. So I put a piece of tape on that positive access point, and then I put another piece of tape on the pin of the ball. And what's going to happen is you're going to see this when he releases it. This is going to roll fairly tight. And that's a positive access point that I'm talking about. So think of the tire on your car, spinning with an axle in it. Absolutely. So then, so there's 3 segments you're going to see in slow motion. You'll see the skid where the white tape is real tight. Then you're going to see a hook motion where the tight white tape will start to move. And then in the back end, you're going to see a roll motion into the pocket where this will start chasing this. So it goes from real tight to rolling around it to it looks like it starts to chase it. So your skid, hook, and roll into the pocket. And those are the 3 points that we're talking about.
We want to thank you guys for coming with us on this little journey here, taking a little tour of North Star Lanes and how to drill a bowling ball. And we want to thank the guy that's behind the whole thing, Davey, for giving us time all night. As you guys saw, there's a ton that goes into drilling a bowling ball, and there's a lot of knowledge that goes into it, and it's amazing the knowledge that he's accumulated and the knowledge that he's willing to impart on our young youth bowlers and help them be the best bowlers that they can. And a big shout out to North Star Lanes for letting us use their facilities and their pro shop, giving us a tour behind the lanes. Really appreciate that, Steph Stager. You're amazing. Thank you so much for letting us use North Star.
That's his sister.
I have 2 shows at the end of January, on January 27th at the Sunset Point Winery in Stevens Point. Shows are at 4 and 7. You can contact me via Facebook, Brady Gregurich. Brady Gregurich Comedian is my official page. Let me know if you need tickets. I'll be more than happy to help you out with that. Tickets are $15. We have 2 shows, 3 very funny comedians, and we also have our 3rd annual Chuckles for Charity event next October 20th. With the great Davey Stager Jr. as our MC for the evening. Andrew McKenzie, Jeff LaFleur, Frank Roach, and myself coming back, and all proceeds will be donated to the Ronald McDonald House and the MAC Fund, both awesome charities that support families and kids fighting childhood cancer in the name of my late niece Jaden, who passed away in 2009. So come out to the show next year. We're going to make it the 3rd annual. We kicked ass last year. We raised over $3,600, and we're going to have another awesome time this year. So thank you guys for your time tonight. We really appreciate it.
Peace.